all about training and why it's so beneficial for the animals who live here. And we're going to see some really awesome behaviors from our stellar sea lions today, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really glad that you guys are joining us. My name is Sarah. I'm an interpreter here at the Vancouver Aquarium, so I'm a part of our education team, and I'm really excited to be leading your program today. However, I am joined by some of my very intelligent and very helpful friends, if anybody has any questions. I'm standing right over here giving you guys a wave. I have my friend Vanessa right over here giving you guys a wave. You might have joined her for her incredible seal feed program just a little bit earlier. And I also have my friend Sam standing at the end of the platform here, directing traffic a little bit. We are all here for questions if you have any. And in the meantime, get excited. Start thinking about some things that you might be wondering about sea lions, some questions that you might have. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them for you while I'm yapping on about sea lions up here. If not, I'll be available for you to ask them before and after the program. Thank you so much. I'll hop back on the mic to repeat myself quite a bit here in just a few short minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get started with our program at 2:30. Thank you, thank you.
6 minutes more. Dito kami sa Vancouver Aquarium. Good morning. So, manood na kayo. Pati walang music.
You want to see me fat? You think I'm very fat? See? It's fat. Yeah, I am.
Easy lang. Enjoy. Sabi ni Catherine. Thank you, Catherine.
Say salamat po.
Yeah, salamat po.
Yeah, people.
Yeah.
Have we been
Sea
here?
lion is training.
What
We're
does that
waiting.
mean?
What do you mean? I need to train the sea lion.
What is,
Yeah.
what is training?
Oh, we need to train. Just like you. We need to train how to do blowing or something else.
Or hot?
Yes. Right. Hi, Mancar Lose. Hello, shout out to you. Vancouver Aquarium. Hello, Manswar. Thank you.
Wait.
Stupid people then. Man for yourself. Shout out to you.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's very beautiful.
Und so ein roter Korn. Boah, jetzt kommt die Sonne raus.
One more minute. Just 1 minute.
What time is it?
2:20 na.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you hold it maybe for the minute? Yeah, das ist recorded. Okay?
Wenn du die einzige bist, die wie ist, hast du noch 27.
What time is it?
2:30 na. It's 2:30 midnight. Yeah, they're gonna start it now. This at 2:30. Sea Lions is coming. They will bring it.
Mike. Hello, folks. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Stellars Bay Gallery here at the Vancouver Aquarium today. My name is Sarah. I'm an interpreter here at the aquarium, and I am very excited to be leading the next program of the day, which is taking place right here, right now. It is our Stellar Sea Lion training program. So I want to hear from you guys. Are we excited?
Yeah.
Awesome. That is the right response. I myself am very excited. I think that this is one of the funnest programs that we do here today. We are going to be seeing a really cool example of relationship building between trainer and animal. Our team of marine mammal trainers is going to come out here to conduct a training program with these animals, and they're going to be showing us why training is so important to be conducted here for animal husbandry purposes. And while we watch that happen, I'm going to be talking to you guys all about it, so I'm super excited. But before we do get started with our program, I would first like to acknowledge that we are all currently gathered today on the unceded traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh communities, and we do truly thank them for taking care of these lands and these waters since time out of mind. Now, of course, behind me here, I am joined by some very amazing animals. These guys here are Stellar sea lions, which is the largest species of sea lion in the entire world, and they live right here on our coastlines in British Columbia. Now, when we start the training session, you might notice that one of these sea lions is not like the other. There is a bull male sea lion in this habitat, and these guys look dramatically different from the females. Male Stellar sea lions are 3 times bigger than the females. So I'll tell you guys right now their names and kind of run down a quick introduction, but I want you guys to try and spot the male when they start hauling these animals out. I bet it's not going to be all that difficult for y'all. But we're joined here today by Kenai, Rogue, Izzy, and Natoa, and these guys are going to be participating in training with our team of marine mammal trainers when they come out here to conduct that program for us today. Now, if you see a sea lion here and you take a close look at their bodies, you can see some of the differences that they have between seals, if you've seen some seals here at the aquarium. Seals don't have any ear flaps like these sea lions do. So if you see an animal that looks like this in the oceans and you see cute little ears, that means that that's a sea lion and not a seal. Seals also use the front parts of their, seals use the back parts of their bodies, and sea lions here use the front parts of their bodies to kind of propel themselves in the oceans. They swim with their front flippers, whereas seals kind of swim with their tails. So those are really great indicators between seals and sea lions that you see here today. That's Izzy, and she's ready to get started with our training program right over here. Now, something really special about this program is that Natoa, one of the sea lions in this habitat, he's the youngest sea lion who lives here at the aquarium. He's about 2.5 years old. And he is the son of Kenai, who's the male here. And he actually just met his dad like 2 days ago in time for Family Day. So that introduction went really well, and we get to see them working alongside each other. You guys are one of the first large groups to see Kenai and his son interacting in this way. So really special program here today. And we're going to see some really great examples of training and why animal husbandry is so important for these guys here. Now, today we get to see an example of sea lion training. Sea lions are really large, really active, really charismatic animals, so this is a really fun example of training here. However, if you've seen pretty much any other animal here at the aquarium, they also participate in training and have their own training team for really important reasons. So if you've seen an octopus, an axolotl, a frog, a lizard, they also are engaged in training in one way or the other. But now we are being joined by our team of marine mammal trainers. Right over here on our boardwalk is Tessa. I saw a couple more folks squeeze in the back, so we'll be able to see them joining us here today. But let's go ahead and greet our marine mammal trainers with a big old warm round of applause. It is their entire job to ensure that the animals who live here are living the healthiest and happiest lives possible. This here is Sam. She's also joining us today, giving you guys a wave. Now, what they're doing here is something that's really fun for us to watch. However, whether there's a crowd here or not to watch this training, it still takes place every single day. And we train animals here for 3 very important reasons. And the first reason is for the health care of these animals. These guys are really active and they spend most of their day swimming. So every time they participate in training, it allows the trainers to actually get a really nice close look at their bodies. So the trainers can ask these sea lions for behaviors that allow them to see parts of them that they might not see on the day-to-day. So you'll see the trainers ask these animals to open up their mouths. And they can check their tongues and their teeth. You'll ask the trainers, just like that there, you'll ask the trainers to see the sea lions under flipper. That allows them to make sure that that is looking in tip-top shape and normal. And you'll also see these guys laying down flat where the trainers can see them from nose to tail and ensure that everything is looking as it should. So every time these sea lions are participating in these training sessions, they're also actively participating in their own health care. Something that's also really important about these training sessions is that this helps make them more comfortable with their trainers in general, and they also might be asked to do behaviors that are going to assist with more advanced husbandry procedures. So just like us, these animals sometimes need to go to the doctor. They need to get vaccines, they need to get blood draws, sometimes they need to have things like ultrasounds conducted as well. And if they're not familiar with what those procedures are, they might be a little bit uncomfortable at the vet when the vet needs to conduct those things. However, when the trainers are working with them and asking them to engage in behaviors that might benefit them at the vet, they're desensitizing them to some of those scary things, right? Every time we go to the doctor, for example, we get a little bit more comfortable with maybe what our doctor might ask us to do. And it's a really similar relationship that these trainers are also building with the sea lions that live here as well. On top of being really important for these animals' health care, this is also really important for their physical exercise. You saw Kenai just engage in a porpoising behavior right in front of me here. That is a really high energy behavior. That helps utilize a lot of Kenai's muscle groups. He is a very strong animal, and he has a lot of muscles that need to be worked out, just like humans do, right? We go to the gym to work out our muscles. This is basically sea lion gym class. So sea lion gym class is another really important reason why we train here. Again, super high energy. For myself, when I'm swimming, I find it quite difficult to sometimes get my body out of the water. Kenai here weighs about 1,300 pounds, so you can imagine how much energy he needs to expend to haul his body up out of the water in a porpoising or a breaching behavior, or even asking him to haul out on one of these platforms here. Now, just as important as the physical health care of these animals is, of course, their mental health care. These sea lions are extremely smart, and they need to engage their brains in the oceans for a lot of different reasons. They need to figure out how to find their food, how to not become somebody else's food, how to navigate difficult weather conditions. And for that reason, these training situations are also really incredibly important for the sea lion's mental health as well. These help engage these sea lions in really awesome puzzle-solving behaviors that help keep their brains nice and sharp and healthy. So you might see the trainers ask the sea lions for like a succession of behaviors. So one behavior after the other. You can see Izzy just did a flap as well as a wave. And this is a nice combination of behaviors that helps engage her and helps keep her mind working during these sessions. So really important for the mental health care of these animals on top of their physical health care. Now, we've talked a lot about why we train here and why this training is so beneficial for these animals. But you might be asking, what are the trainers even doing in the first place, right? How do you train an animal like a sea lion? And we all, surprisingly, are probably pretty familiar with the method of training that these trainers are using to train sea lions, because it's the same method of training that we use to train our dogs, or train our kids, or train our friends. And it is called positive reinforcement training. If you had a kid with you right now, you probably used positive reinforcement training at least once in the last 30 minutes. It is very effective training, and it has 3 main steps to it. Now, the first step of positive reinforcement training is the ask. So you'll see the trainers ask the sea lions for the specific behavior that they'd like to see from them. In this case, it looks like a hand gesture or a physical signal. It's not an ask verbally. These guys, they have a little bit of a language barrier between human and sea lion. Izzy is showing a very amazing example there of what sea lion language sounds like. And although Sam probably understood exactly what she meant by that, not a lot of us are super fluent in sea lions. So it helps us and it helps the sea lions understand the exact behavior if we're using something like a hand signal. Once that behavior is carried out, the trainers are then going to move on to the second step of positive reinforcement training, which is the bridge. So you'll hear Sam or Tessa or Maddie say something like, good. Once that behavior is carried out, they're telling that animal that they have done that behavior correctly and that they can prepare themselves for the third and the best part of positive reinforcement training, the reward. I want you guys to shout out at me. What do we think a good reward for a sea lion is? Fish. Yes, it is fish. Absolutely. These guys are very food motivated, as am I. And these animals are eating a lot of fish every day. Kenai alone is eating about 35 kilograms of fish every single day, which is probably more than some of our smaller guests in the audience weigh. So for some of you kids here, Kenai's eating your body weight fish every day, which means that gives the trainers a lot of opportunity to engage with him in training, right? However, if Kenai's having a lazy day, that's also okay. Sometimes sea lions, just like you and I, are a little bit pooped out, they're a little bit lazy,